Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. People done gone crazy. People done gone mad. People done forgot the superpowers we all had. We were born to love, not hate. We can decide our fate. Look for the good in everyone. Celebrate all our mistakes. Them silver linings. Silver linings. Still have to find it, find it, find it. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone needs sunshine. Everyone needs rain. Everyone is carrying around some kind of pain. I see who you are. You're just like me. See you're searching for a purpose, guided by a dream. I see who you are. I'm just like you. I get lost sometimes and I forgot what I came here to do, but I keep on trying. Keep on trying. When it gets frightening, look for the good in everything. Look for the people who set your soul free. Always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone. All right, say hello to your neighbor. Join me, won't you? Everyone needs some nature. Everyone needs God. Everyone is love and light and vibration. Look for the good. Look for the good. Everyone gets mad sometimes, and maybe they should. Look for the good. Look for the good. Yeah, look out for all the heroes in your neighborhood. Look for the good. Look for the good. Life sure would be sweeter if if everybody would look for the good in everything. Look for the people who set your soul free. Always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good, oh, look for the good, look for the good in everyone.
Hey, hey. How was that for an opening number? Thank you, Kelby MacNayr, our band leader on drums and vocal. John Mossy is here as a guest on stand-up bass, and we've got Pablo Cardenas on piano. I'm Sheri Hauser. I'm your guest facilitator and speaker tonight. As I said earlier, I'm standing in for Rev.Lesia. She is recovering to beautiful health, and we are so grateful that that she has taken the time she needs. Brain concussions. There's just no telling what the body needs to restore concentration and focus. Sending her so much love and so much healing energy from our hearts as we raise the vibration here. We can just push that out through the roof and out into the universe. Let's just all send her a love blast right now. Let's just put our hands up here and just take a moment to send loving kindness, healing energy to Rev.Lesia. And so be it. Thank you. Here we are. This is Elevate. Welcome. It's Wednesday, September 17th. I'm glad you found your way here. And for all of you tuning in online, we're not forgetting about you either. Thank you so much for showing up. And yes. And what is it that we love to say to our new members? We have Jackie, Tiffany, and Pierre, and how would we like to welcome them here? We love you, we appreciate you, and we're so glad you're here. And the thing that we are here to do, as we all know, those of you that have been here before, live life lovingly. What does that mean to live life with love? To hold love in our hearts when there's so many other feelings that could be possible, that could take up that space. The number of times that I've made decisions from a place of fear instead of love, and how that ends up feeling in my body. It's like I know the difference. And every day is a new opportunity to tune more deeply into love. And what we love to do here is celebrate the truth of who and what we truly are, which is an embodiment of love, a walking, living embodiment of love. And when we are that, there's so much more peace and ease available to us. And we're going to explore that more tonight. So whatever you call love, you could call it spirit or oneness, God, divinity. That's what we're doing here together, is celebrating each of you, what's accessible to you, what your capacity is, what your gifts are, your skill sets, how you show up in the world. These incredible musicians who gift us their time and talent each and every week. Our volunteers at the back of the room, Glenn and Kevin, who hold down the fort with technology. Denise, who helps tend to the flower garden out front, with bursting with life, with flowers, and setting up for us early. And for all of you who just show up for the community. Thank you. So grateful. Blessings. Blessings to all of you. So, as we're here to celebrate love, we're here to celebrate the love that we truly are, and we are doing it here on the land of the Lekwungen-speaking people. known as the Esquimalt and Songhees Nations. And I know that Rev.Lesia always prepares a slide for us each month where we focus on different attributes about the Songhees and Esquimalt nations. And we're honoring their strength, their integrity, and their vision this month. And what does that mean to each of us as we lean into our own strength of community and how we support one another, how we show up, how we lean in, how we listen, how we might spend extra time. Maybe that's an eye gaze or a hug that lasts longer than one breath. That's a way that we can demonstrate our strength and our connection. And doing that with integrity. To me, integrity says a lot about authenticity. What does it mean to be true to myself? I used to think integrity meant honoring my word. And I'm not here to say that I don't think that's important, but I used to honor my word at a cost to myself. And so thinking about what honor means and how when we honor the land and we honor each other, we are in fact showing reverence to the folks that have stewarded these lands for thousands of years before us. And as this sentence says, we have been here since time immemorial, and we will continue to thrive. And isn't that a beautiful thing? We have so much to learn from them. So grateful for this opportunity. Thank you. Hajka. And now our band's going to play us a reflective tune. And we have again guest bass player John Mossy. Letting that music land wherever it lands. In your body, in your spirit, in your soul. Just feeling my heart space expand, receiving that music. And as my heart space expands, I realize how much more capacity I have to love. And I'm so grateful to know that it's infinite, that love is infinite, that we are infinite, that each one of you is infinite possibilities. I want to give thanks for this moment and for all the moments that follow. Thank you so much for your time and presence here. In love and gratitude. Thank you. This month's theme is acceptance. For those of you that have been hanging out with us here, know that every month Lesia comes up with an affirmation. And this month, it's at the doorway of peace lies the threshold of acceptance. I've had some time to sit with this beautiful affirmation. And I've been thinking a lot about access to peace, as if peace is the prize. And what does it look like to have more of it? So what does it even mean to accept ourselves? To accept how we are being, how we are feeling, to accept what is happening. Does anyone have a story about acceptance that they love to share? We've got time for at least one share. Anyone want to speak up? Maggie.
I love that Nat Kahn quote. That I love him, but I had never heard that quote before. And I'm not going to go into too much story here, but I am going to say I'm feeling really vulnerable, and I'm feeling really a lot of things. And it's all okay. Like, I'm okay. It's okay. Like, everything's okay. Life isn't happening to me. It's happening for me. And even though I received some news I didn't want, and even though I'm having some big feelings about it, and even though I'm exhausted, and even though the news I received is life-changing, it's all okay. And, like, just in that meditation, I almost didn't come tonight. Because I'm exhausted, and I should have had it. I was telling myself I should go home and have a bath and go to bed and meditate by myself. But that meditation and the way that you're facilitating tonight and just even being here is reminding me of there's actually nothing wrong. Like, feels like it right now, but that's just my reaction to what's going on. And as I always say to my every client I meet, it's just time to feel and heal. It's just time to send more love to myself. It's just time to acknowledge that little girl that's hurting right now, that's feeling judged and abandoned. And I come back to Ho'oponopono. I love her. I love me. Please forgive me. Thank you. You know, like, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I'm just holding space for everything to flow through me, and it will. And it's a process. And it's just, it's all okay. And there's growth here in this pile of poo.
Growth in the poo. Can that be the title of your talk?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There's growth in the compost and in the mud.
It's good to hear you
and
laughing.
in the dark. And it's all okay. And I just absolutely love that Nat Con quote. I love him. I always have for a long time. But thank you. And I'm glad I came.
Hey, everybody, do you want to tell Maggie how much we're glad she's here? We love you. We appreciate you. And we're so glad you're here.
It's my birthday on Friday.
And it's her birthday.
And I
her
have
birthday.
birthday boots on, and I have new birthday hair.
All right.
Celebrate life.
Thank you so much. I'm hearing some courage and some vulnerability in your willingness to...
Is that called acceptance?
Yeah.
I'm hearing acceptance.
Well, I hear you being in a place where you maybe didn't expect yourself to be. And I'm actually hearing the voice of someone who's offering themselves some grace. And you're allowing yourself to be in community. And that's the courage part. Yeah. We're all practicing how to be human in public. Am I right?
Is that your next talk, Sheri?
That'll be my next talk, yeah. Yeah. There was actually a witch I interviewed when I had a radio show during the pandemic era, and her line was practicing in public. So, love to give a shout out to Amy in Tacoma. Still talking about you. Oh, all right. Wow. Thanks for that beautiful drop-in. I'm going to pass it back to our lovely Elevate Jazz Trio with guest John Mossy and play us your feature tune.
All right. Well, hi. There's a tune we'd like to do, and spoiler alert, for those of you who were here on Sunday, we're going to do the same song. But it's going to be different. Because we couldn't do it the same if we tried. That's one of the important things about acceptance. Accepting what is, and this is one of the songs from, I think, one of Canada's great poets and philosophers. This is by Leonard Cohen. In each verse, there's many. Some he hasn't even written, but all of what we sing tonight, I think, will be his written. This is Hallelujah. And if you feel like singing along, join in. The only trick is I might not do them in the order that you are doing them in. Time will tell. Say there was a magic chord that David played and pleased the Lord. You don't really care for music, do you? Goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift. Baffled king composed. Hallelujah. 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 Faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to her kitchen chair. She broke your throne, she cut your hair. From your lips she drew. I used to live alone before I knew you. I've seen your flag on the marmalade. Love is not a victory march, it's the cold and it's the broken hallelujah. Hallelujah. Did my best, it wasn't much. Couldn't feel, so I tried to touch. I did my best, I didn't come to fool ya. And even though it all went wrong, I stand before the Lord of song with nothing on my tongue but hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Pablo Cardenas, John Mossy, Kelby MacNayr, thank you so much. Wow. Beautiful music, just filling our hearts and touching our souls tonight. Whew. Wow. Recovering from the beautiful music. And this is the part of the evening where I put on my guest speaker hat. And the band can feel free to sit down and relax, take a load off. We'll be going from the talk into a conscious connection exercise. Very excited about that. All right. So hi, I'm Sheri. I'm your guest speaker tonight. Do I seem different now? Is it like I've just put on a different suit? I actually thought about bringing a hat, and I'd be like, I'm just going to put on my other hat, and then physically put on another hat. But I didn't bring my props, so. On Friday, my beloved and I took a bike ride out to the Souk Potholes campground. We went to have a picnic. And we were meditating on some rocks for a while. And I decided that I wanted to get into the water and fully submerge myself, which is actually the reason why we rode our bikes to the campground, because the day use place has a more shallow river access. And there's places in the campground where you can plunge completely underwater and submerge yourself in it. There's just something about the cold on my nervous system when I allow my body to relax into the cold water that helps me reset. And it reminds me that I can be uncomfortable and I can be safe. That those two things can coexist. And when I do that, it expands my comfort zone. Because now I've included discomfort in my comfort zone. It's now a part of the experience. And I'm breathing and I don't let myself get out until I've actually regulated my breath again. And in that way, I'm rewiring my brain so that when I find myself in a stressful situation or my body's creating some tension and it's unwanted and I'm resisting it, that I have some memory, some muscle memory to relax and to breathe and to regulate myself. But there's something else that happened when I was in the water. I swam across to the place where the river has molded the rocks, and it's created this just beautiful, windy path for the water to go. And as I explored over these rocks, what I found was a cove, a place where still water rested that would only get refilled when the river rushes again. And it was big enough for my entire body to float in. And no one could see me. So I got into this. It was a little bit hard because the rock surfaces are really slippery. So I'm kind of angling myself to get into this little cove. And then, I got to practice surrendering, to letting go, to allow my body to be fully held by this water and to rest there. And I realized that this was an access point to peace for me. And as I laid there in this stillness, breathing, relaxing, feeling the sun on my face, I realized that this is what I wanted more of. How can I cultivate more of this feeling? And the word grace just showed up, like in neon lights. It was like grace. And I thought, okay, well, that's really interesting, because I have this relationship to the word grace that isn't current, but it's a definition. that I've held about grace. And it's kept it separate from me. It's kept it unattainable as something that I could have or something that I could be, as if I need to strive for grace, as if grace just like already doesn't exist within me and each of you, because it does. But it felt like something that I had to strive for. And it was because I defined grace as elegance and poise and a way that someone might hold their body or have a certain way about them. They're so graceful. And I don't see myself that way. Sometimes I feel like, an elephant on stilts. Just like I can just feel that way in my spirit body. That I don't feel like I just have this way of, being. To me, that was grace. And so it was like out here. It was separate. And so as I was in the water and I thought about the gift of grace and how to cultivate more of it, I had some thoughts and I wrote them down. So I'm going to refer to my notes now. Except I need the light. Right. Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. So if grace then became this doorway to peace, just like acceptance is in Lesia's affirmation, then I thought about how to have more of it and what's in the way of it. And when it came to grace, it was simply my definition. Like that became the thing that kept it separate from me. And so I made up an acronym. Because who doesn't love a good acronym? Right? But before I get there, before I get to that acronym, I want to go back to the river and my quest for more peace when I was lying there in the still water. And this grace that exists, it started to show up as the unfurling, as the allowing, that is the essence of grace and how it can be. And I thought, well, okay then that is me in all the ways that I'm radically self-expressed. That is me as my trickster and my rebel. Like grace isn't just this soft, compassionate, gentle, loving presence, although it is also that. That if grace is the way that I can have more ease and more peace in my life, then embracing grace is embracing kind of the awesome sauce of grace. And so here was me going into my head wondering, how can I create belonging for me with grace? And I came up with this acronym. So G is for guts, because it takes guts to show up in a world that is messy and vulnerable. And B, unapologetically alive. That takes some guts and revelry. I don't know what life would be without being able to celebrate the joy of being alive and to truly feel all the pleasures that brings. And the A, of course, stands for authenticity. Well, I say of course because if you really knew me, you would know that I've been practicing authentic relating as a modality for the past 7 years, and I'm a certified facilitator of some coursework and training with Art International. And the reason that that's so important to me is because I masked and pretended for so long in my marriage of 20 years without really understanding what it means to be true to myself and what it means to love what I find there. And I made a promise to myself that I would never betray who I am. I would never betray me again. And so I just live with authenticity as this rich anchor. And so there it is in the middle of grace. Permission to be myself. Hoorah. And creativity, of course. It's not that I've always seen myself as a creative person. I used to think creativity was painting a picture, making a sculpture, having a physical output of the thing that you did. You made this object and now it's for sale. And I was an art rep for 20 years before I opened a gallery. I've just been around artists and love the creative process, but never saw myself as that until I realized that I just am the living embodiment of creativity, that it is just who I am. And it's who each of you are too. And we all express it in different ways. And that when we lean into that amazing power of our own organic creativity, the way Denise is designing the garden out front, the way my friend Ange lives with the nature and gathers the herbs and essence of plant life to create her own aromatherapy smells. Like all of the creative ways, the way that Stephanie runs her family practice and counseling, and there's no end to the creativity that exists in that field. Oh, right? The grace of us and the ecstasy. Come on. I am a bit of a self-proclaimed hedonist. So if I'm redefining this word and bringing it into, truth for me, then it's this freedom to let pleasure and peace coexist, that is actually an ingredient of my peace, is to also savor the pleasure and to notice it and name it. Sometimes I just love to shout out at no one in particular, but like the universe, and so my angels and spirit guides can hear me. I'm having such a good time. I just want to make sure they get it, right? Because if I'm having such a good time, then maybe I'll get more of these same experiences. But we gotta say it. Like right now, in this moment, I feel so alive. Try it. Try shouting out.
So grateful, Mraz. This is amazing. Thank you. I'm having such a good time.
Oh, thanks for being with me in that. All right, I'm noticing the time and that I have to wrap up, but there's so much more I want to say about this. So let's see, in closing. That's my grace. Not the kind that makes me feel like I have to be delicate and perfect, but the kind that says, be bold, be free, be you. And the wild thing is, when I live this way, peace shows up anyway. Because peace doesn't come from getting it right, it comes from being fully alive. Thank you, and so it is. So this is the part of the evening where we just want to acknowledge what it means spiritually to be in reciprocity with the outside world. And however it is that you give, whether it's your time, your talent, or your treasury, it always feels so good to be of service in community here or anywhere else in the world, that you give the devotion of your attention. Just your time alone in being here is a devotional act for yourself, for the community. And I would just love to repeat this generosity affirmation together, out loud, all of us, as the blessing box gets passed around. So together, let's affirm, in gratitude I give, in gratitude I receive. By embracing generosity with enthusiasm and delight, I celebrate the infinite possibilities of living life lovingly. And so it is. Gratitudes and blessings. We've said so many tonight. I know that I've thanked the volunteer team already, and to each of you that showed up. What I'd love to do is just have us eyeball someone else in the room from your seated position and just offer them your love and appreciation and gratitude by saying what we love to say to each other. but we'll say it with an I statement. Okay? I love you, I appreciate you, and I'm so glad you're here. So our final song then, welcoming back to the stage our Elevate Trio,
Yes,
John, Kelby, and Pablo.
Thank you so much, everyone.
I do what I can.
We are very excited to sing this last song with you. We're really your backup band, so I encourage you to sing with full, joyous acceptance and grace. All right, Eddie Watkins Jr. gave us this song. This is All Is Well. Please feel free to stand up and get your groove on. All right, here we go. I'm not worried about tomorrow. Today I declare freedom from yesterday, mistakes of the past. Today all things are made brand new. And don't it feel good to know that all is well and unfolding as it should? I can change my reality by changing my mind. Perfect peace, joy, and happiness is yours and it's mine. I am loved, so are you. Don't it feel good to know that all is well and unfolding as it should? All is well, all is well. Divine Spirit is directing me right now, right now. All is well, all is well, all is well, and unfolding as it should. Share a blessing with your neighbor. every time. I am blessed, so are you. Don't it feel good to know all is well? Let me see you say all is well. I can you now, all is well and unfolding as it should.